Anthony Joshua launched himself onto the scene when he defeated Vladimir Klitschko 4 years ago. The fight tested the will of both participants, but it was Joshua who the crowd came to see. And what a great fight the crowd were treated to, as both boxers battled it out vigorously until the end came in round 11. It was a monumental night for boxing, but in particular the heavyweight division. While sure, the modern greats of boxing are seen in the likes of Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather, there's nothing quite like an old-fashioned, old-school, classical heavyweight shootout. 5 months after this night, a Ukrainian named Oleksandr Usyk was competing in his first fight in the World Boxing Super Series at the cruiserweight level, a bracket-style boxing tournament involving 7 other boxers at the world-class level. Cruiserweight is the immediate weight class below heavyweight. Cruiserweights are under 200 pounds, whereas heavyweights are over that figure. The winner of this tournament would be without a doubt the main man at cruiserweight. Usyk was the favorite going into this tournament. He was an extremely decorated amateur boxer, and his skills can be recognized by all observers.
Superstar, no. Superstar, no. Megastar.
And the main thing we cannot forget is I am the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Does the goal remain the same, to become heavyweight champion, and do you still believe you can achieve that?
Абсолютным чемпионом мира.
These two boxers championed their ways through their respective weight classes. Usyk would win the World Boxing Super Series, and Joshua would win great fights against the likes of Alexander Povetkin and Joshua Parker, collecting multiple world title belts in the process. But no one might have guessed that today, right now, we would be anticipating a matchup between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk.
Are you ready for war? Bang, bang, down they go, yeah. Bang, bang, watch them fall, yeah. Are you ready for war? Bang, bang, down they go, yeah. Dropping like dominoes, yeah. Bang, bang.
They will fight on Saturday, September 25th. They are boxers who come from different weight divisions, but now nothing divides them but the time that remains before they enter the ring to face one another.
Are you ready for war?
It's an interesting matchup, and I would actually say it's the most interesting matchup of both Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk's entire careers, but weight has nothing to do with it. The reason it's interesting is because Usyk is by far the most skilled opponent Anthony Joshua will have ever faced. The same is also true for Usyk. Usyk comes from a Ukrainian boxing background. If you know amateur boxing, you know the Ukrainians are blue-chip fighters. The most successful fighters we've seen come out of Ukraine who made it in the pros are both Oleksandr Usyk and Vasyl Lomachenko. These guys are beyond world class. They defy the norm when it comes to boxing skill, especially for Usyk. For a big guy, he's got an insane amount of skill. Usyk is an incredible fighter at phasing his attacks. Like Lomachenko, some people like to say when he fights, he downloads information about his opponents as the rounds go by. In reality, they are simply good at becoming familiar with their opponents quickly. This is seen in all great amateur boxers, because unlike the pros, in the amateurs you could be fighting 4 different fighters in 4 different days, and there is no preparing for certain styles. The fights are made shortly beforehand, and the boxers are required to adjust quickly to their opponent's style of fighting. Think Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. Joshua was a good amateur. He won a gold medal in the Olympics, but he's nowhere near as decorated as Oleksandr Usyk when you're talking about the amateurs. But this is the pro game. This is professional prize fighting, and things are different here. Joshua has developed a lot since his pro debut in 2013. Young Joshua was more explosive and, if you may say, reckless, but prime Joshua is more reserved. He knows his opportunities when they arise, but he's still a destructive finisher, and at the end of the day, that's what the people want to see. However, I foresee a fight with Usyk being more tactical than his others. While Joshua may have brute force on his side, brute force means nothing if you're walking onto Usyk's sharp jab all night. You will not be allowed to walk in on a straight line against Oleksandr Usyk, and that demands careful consideration for when he decides to attack. You are at your most vulnerable state in boxing when you're attacking. Usyk is very good at catching people in the trade. Usyk has great footwork, we all know this, but Joshua has some very underrated footwork too. The rematch with Ruiz was a boring watch, but it was necessary. Sometimes you have to alter your style when you're unmatched in certain facets. Joshua exhibited excellent lateral movement. After his fight with Parker, he said a great right hand will take you around the block.
But a good jab will take you around the world.
This is certainly true. The jab is the foundation to any boxer. Without a jab, a boxer cannot box. Joshua has an excellent jab, but so does Usyk. Usyk has much better head carriage than Joshua, likely from the fact that Usyk was fighting before he was a teenager. Joshua tends to get flustered under pressure, while Usyk is extremely proficient at remaining composed. This might work in Usyk's favor if he begins to turn up the pressure. There is no doubt that Joshua is the man with the power. 22 knockouts from 24 wins backs the claim that Joshua is a knockout puncher. Usyk isn't a soft puncher, but at heavyweight he is not recognized as a knockout puncher. That doesn't mean he isn't capable of finishing people though. Multiple unanswered punches will put a stop to any fight. A fight is generally stopped when a boxer appears he cannot defend himself or return fire. There are multiple routes to victory in boxing. Although Usyk is a former undisputed champion, it is Joshua who has had the more high-profile career. Joshua's career is one of the most underrated on the boxing scene. He knocked out Povetkin and Klitschko. He also outboxed Parker and Ruiz. He's also improving as the years go by. At age 31, he is at the absolute pinnacle of his physical well-being. This won't be Usyk's first fight at heavyweight though. In his heavyweight debut, he beat Chaz Witherspoon, but then took a big leap to fight Derek Chisora after that. Usyk outboxed Chisora, there's no doubt about that, but Chisora landed some heavy shots too. Chisora, however, is a heavier guy than Joshua. Not by much, but Usyk can find comfort in knowing that if he can handle the weight of Chisora, he can handle the weight of Joshua. But the weight that really matters in boxing is the weight of your punches. Joshua is a hard puncher, harder than Chisora. This is really an exciting fight. I am looking forward to it, and I'm sure you are too. Of course, I cannot give a prediction. I just hope it's a great, entertaining fight so the fans get their money's worth. Boxing has been rather stagnant this year with multiple canceled fights. Hopefully it is not too long before we're back to seeing the best of boxing battle it out on the regular. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next video here on The Fight Game.